The silence that fell over Camp Sunnyvale was not the gentle hush of children engrossed in crafts or captivated by a campfire tale under the towering oaks. It was a heavy, unnatural stillness, a suffocating quiet that descended on the vibrant cabins and rolling meadows just after lunch. By mid-afternoon, the first cries of distress pierced the air, small, frightened voices escalating into a chorus of agony as child after child clutched their stomachs, faces pale, drenched in sweat. Camp Sunnyvale, a haven for kids with disabilities, was under siege, and no one yet knew why. Margaret Lynn, the camp's tireless director, felt her heart seize as the nurses' station turned chaotic. The children, with conditions ranging from autism to cerebral palsy, had been bubbling with joy that morning, their laughter echoing across the 50-acre woodland. Now, they were violently ill, their vibrant spirits replaced by pain and fear. The county clinic was alerted, parents flooded in, their voices tight with panic, and suspicion fell on the camp's pristine well water, a source so pure it was the pride of Harmony Valley. A young counselor whispered that the water tasted odd that morning, metallic, bitter. Dr. Catherine Walsh, regional director of the Environmental Protection Agency, was in a dull meeting on water management when her phone buzzed with an urgent message. Potential contamination at Camp Sunnyvale. Multiple pediatric cases. Severe symptoms. Immediate EPA support requested. Excusing herself, Catherine's mind raced. Her niece, Emily, who had Down syndrome, had spent 2 joyful summers at Sunnyvale. The camp wasn't just a program. It was a sanctuary where kids, often sidelined by an unforgiving world, could thrive. Catherine knew the camp's battles with the neighboring Willow Creek Estates, a wealthy enclave whose homeowners association, HOA, despised the camp's noise and unsightly cabins. Leading their crusade was Eleanor Price, a widow whose manicured roses and venomous complaints were equally renowned. Catherine arrived at Sunnyvale by evening, her EPA team already collecting water samples in their blue and white hazmat suits. The scene was grim. Ambulances had taken the sickest kids to the hospital, while others lay in a makeshift infirmary in the lodge, tended by exhausted staff and weeping parents. Dr. James Carter, the county health director, greeted her with relief. Violent vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain. Some kids are showing neurological symptoms, dizziness, even tremors. It hit fast, right after lunch. What was served? Catherine asked, her voice steady despite the dread coiling in her chest. Sandwiches, fruit, milk, nothing unusual, Margaret Lynn replied, her face etched with guilt. But the water counselor said it smelled faintly chemical, like bitter almonds. She didn't report it in time. The mention of bitter almonds sent a chill through Catherine. Cyanide compounds could carry such a scent, though other toxins fit the profile. This wasn't natural contamination, it felt deliberate. By dawn, lab results confirmed the worst. Traces of a restricted organophosphate pesticide, a nerve agent meant for insects but devastating to humans. In low doses, it caused the exact symptoms ravaging the kids: nausea, vomiting, cramping, dizziness. Higher doses could kill. The highest concentration was in the camp's main water tank, not the well, and fresh pry marks on the tank's hatch pointed to sabotage. This was intentional, Catherine said, staring at the damning chromatograph on her laptop. Her lead investigator, Tom Harris, nodded grimly. Someone knew the camp's layout and targeted that tank. Catherine's thoughts turned to Willow Creek and Eleanor Price. The HOA's complaints were legendary petitions to revoke Sunnyvale's permit, claims of hazardous septic systems, and snide remarks about the kids lowering property values. Eleanor's latest letter, sent after a failed attempt to shut the camp down, was chilling. If authorities won't act, concerned citizens may have to protect our community ourselves. Catherine ordered a sweep of the camp's perimeter and a review of every HOA complaint. She also called an FBI contact. Poisoning a water supply was a federal crime, possibly terrorism. Evidence mounted fast: rubber gloves stolen from Eleanor's shed, a nearly empty pesticide container buried near the property line, and tire tracks matching Eleanor's green Polaris ATV. Her letters dripped with hatred, calling the campers a blight and a menace. The next morning, Catherine and FBI agent Daniel Reed visited Eleanor at her pristine estate. She was clipping roses, exuding suburban calm. "Mrs. Price," Catherine began, We're investigating the contamination at Camp Sunnyvale. You've had concerns about the camp, correct? Eleanor's lips curled. Concerns? That place is a disaster, loud, ugly, and poorly run. If they're poisoning their own kids, it proves my point. She seemed smug, unaware of Catherine's authority. The water was deliberately contaminated with a restricted pesticide, Catherine said, watching Eleanor's face. The tank was pried open. Do you use organophosphates for your roses? Eleanor bristled. I use only the best products. Are you accusing me? Do you own a Polaris ATV? Daniel asked. Were you near the camp's water tank recently? Absolutely not. Eleanor snapped, dismissing them with a wave. But her quick denial betrayed her. At a packed community meeting in Harmony Valley High's auditorium, Catherine laid out the evidence. Photos of the prime marks, the gloves, the pesticide container. She revealed Eleanor's purchase of the toxin, confirmed by store footage and credit card records. The crowd gasped as Eleanor leapt up, shouting bouffon. System, shouting, this is outrageous. A setup. That pesticide was for my rose sit must have been stolen. Her lawyer tried to silence her, but the evidence was undeniable. Soil traces on her ATV, fibers from her apron, and a missing quantity of pesticide matching the contamination. Catherine stepped forward, her voice icy. Mrs. Price, I'm Dr. Catherine Walsh, Regional Administrator for the EPA. You didn't just poison children, you attacked the United States government's authority under my command. She slammed an official EPA document on the table, its seal gleaming. Agent Reed cuffed Eleanor, charging her with multiple felonies, including domestic terrorism. She collapsed, sobbing, her arrogance shattered. Eleanor pleaded guilty, facing years in federal prison. Willow Creek's HOA was fined and placed under strict EPA oversight. Camp Sunnyvale reopened with a new, secure water system, funded by settlements. The community rallied, and the kids' laughter returned. Catherine pushed for nationwide regulations the Sunnyvale Relesto protect vulnerable populations' water supplies. This wasn't just a crime. It was a betrayal of trust, a strike against innocence. But from that darkness came justice and stronger protections. What do you think about this story of malice and redemption? Share your thoughts below. How do you view such acts of injustice? And what should communities do to prevent them? Your voice matters.